So I'm assuming that's nice. So we've got new people here for this SIG. Oh my god, you're not new.
Oh, I can't.
You're not new.
That's pretty new.
Can you introduce yourself?
Sorry, I'm Bruce Stevens. I'm a member of the other.
Yep.
From the other place.
Yep.
And I go there all the
Cool.
time.
Do you own a
Hard for me to get to.
Yes.
So following later.
Do you own a Raspberry Pi?
Yeah, we're not. A couple of them.
Couple. Pi 2, Pi 1, Pi 3? All of the above? Okay. Yes.
I mean, I've been in the group in the club for ages.
Mm-hmm.
Turn up the one in the house when I get
Ah, okay. Cool.
That's got a,
Do you own a Raspberry Pi?
yeah, I got to it.
Cool. And yourself?
Oh, no, this is a Manchester.
That's all right.
Keep me on.
Uh,
On the straight and narrow.
you're not new. Alrighty, so what we're going to do is we've got a couple of presentations. One of my presenters has done the walkies, but
Just here.
oh, there you are. Why are you hiding down there?
I'm worried about the camera.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's all right. This is a new position for me. I'll sit here.
You happy now? Move.
No. That's all right. I don't want your camera to break.
Whatever. Yeah, it'll be fun. It's just for a test anyway for today. Do you want to present?
Now,
Yes, please.
won't take long.
We've got a presentation from Bill. We've got one from Tren. We'll do a Q&A, latest goss. I might do a little praise as well if we've got time. Do you need my HDMI?
No, I've got one. I've got one here.
Right, do you want me to pass this around now?
Yes, please.
This is just the attendance register. And your email address, you print your email address clearly, and no handling on your out bits and pieces from the seat. I'll just pass it around.
Okay. I'll just go ahead with this one. This is Ubuntu Maker. I think a few of you weren't actually here for not that long ago. Mohan just demonstrated how quickly the Ubuntu Mate and how useful Ubuntu Mate is on a Raspberry Pi 3. I've actually had it running on a Raspberry Pi 2, and it's actually very usable. It's not, if you've got a few things open at the same time, obviously it's a little bit, it's slower than the Pi 3, but it's not annoying. The Pi 2 can, if you're not in the market to buy a Pi 3, you can definitely run your Ubuntu Mate on a Pi 2 and do your projects and browsing, and even I've already done a Bluetooth connection to my Bluetooth speakers, and you don't need to download any special drivers or anything. It's just like setting up a standard Bluetooth connection. You put it into you click on your Bluetooth icon. You have to make this discoverable. So the minute you click the second line, it'll show you how many seconds. Look, now it's saying 53, 52. So you've got 50 seconds to click into devices, which will show you which Bluetooth devices we can see at the moment. I'll have to refresh that because that's actually at home, so I'll just do a search. Wait for the bar to go to completion. Right, so obviously it's showing some history here. That's at home, and that can disappear for now. And it's picked up a 1, it's probably an H2C1, somebody's H2C1. But the point is, right, once you do that, you can right click and you can pair like you normally would, and then you're off and away. And it's basically self-explanatory. If I can do it, anybody can. And the Wi-Fi, it does actually have a strange thing with the connection. Usually I find the best way when you need to make a change to the connection is to go to edit connections to see if it's attempted to connect to something that's available here at the moment. And if you have trouble, you pick on the Wi-Fi that you're interested in and just go to edit. And this is something I need to show you because the quickest way to sort this problem out if it's not connecting after you put your password, after you put your password right, you don't need to change anything for these, but this has to be automatic, and this is automatic as well. That's disabled. You save that, right, and that tends to stay there, so that when you go back to here again and you click on the actual Wi-Fi, it'll connect. It should connect. If it doesn't, all you need to do is reboot. It's a bug in this thing, and if that doesn't do the trick, you need to reboot this again and try again, and then it'll connect. I think because you get depending on how you configure it, you get updates coming for Ubuntu Mate, just like you would see in Windows, and I'm sure they're on the case. I'm sure people would have let them know about it by now. And hopefully one of those updates will fix it anyway. And now I'll just show, a bit hard to see. This is how I've got a Raspberry Pi SenseHAT sitting on top of this, which is a Pi 3 with the case, but I couldn't make the top 2 sections fit with this, so I just left it like that. That's what it looks like whenever you boot up the Pi. I've got 3 projects that I can very quickly demonstrate. I've got System Tools. You go into Terminal. Well, I do anyway. I do it this way. And then Sudo Idle was there. And then you have a password. Whenever you're going to make changes or things like that to the system, this is optional, but I put a password in, and that way, when my niece and nephew come and they want to play Angry Birds or something like that, and I don't know they're in my bedroom, they can't make massive changes and stuff up my system. I made a mistake there. Alright, now it's going to bring up the... No.
Does it let the smoke out on the third go?
No, sorry, Pete. Oh, here we go. And now from here I'll open up the file. The first one's for me it's the most interesting. And it's a binary clock. Run modules. Not much code when you see that, right? This is setting the colours for hundreds of seconds to seconds to blah 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 to year, and some code here to display. For me, this is setting up the what do you call it? Like the fractions. Down, you know what I mean? It's dividing down to getting from microseconds which is actually, that whole thing is hundreds of seconds, minutes, and whatever. So that's let me think. That's not dividing. Yes, it is. That's dividing that. Binary year, month, colour. No, that is the bottom section is setting up. The seconds, minutes, and everything else. And then when I run this. Maybe I didn't do that. Hang on a sec. Run module. Here we go. Probably a bit hard to see from here, but you've got hundreds of seconds at the top in binary, so you forget about counting those ones. But the next line down is seconds, right, in binary, and then next line down from that is minutes. So you got 1, 2, 4, 8, 16. So you got 2 and 16 is 18. So it should be 18 past the hour, which it is. And then hours after that is 1, 2, 4, 8. So that's 6 plus 8 is 14. So that's 1400 hours because it's in 24-hour format. And then, after that you've got the day, which is 1, 2, 4, 8. So that's 3 plus 8 is 11. So it's the 11th of June. And then the month and the year. The year doesn't show, the year only shows the last 2 digits. So it's 1, 2, 4, 8, 16 is lit for 2016. And it's not much code for what it does, and it's interesting. It's nice to look at. You can leave it like that all the time. So I've got another 2, and then these ones I've picked these projects from there's a SenseHat book. There's a 4-volume collection of books from Magpie magazine, and they're smaller, they're much smaller than this. They're big enough for you to open up and read on everything you need to know about each project and how the code works and everything. And so I just loaded in the ones that would interest me the most, So the next one's good because it shows the sensors on the SenseHat. We can close that to kill it. And that's the program, Python of course. And then I haven't done any Python for a while. I'm doing it the hard way again, but anyway, just get this. We'll get there's a data logger one as well. And downloads and data logger. So you can see there's quite a bit there. Can't get all of it down on the screen. Does anybody know how to extend the bottom of one of these windows an easier way, or is it just a case of hit and miss to get that? You know what I mean? Is there a way to?
You've got a scroll bar at the side.
Oh yeah, no. But
So
what?
you just keep hitting enter to get more line.
So just from here,
You go down to the bottom.
I can just go down arrow. But if I'm in a normal window like this and I want to shrink it, right, it's very hard for me to line that
And you just set up a bit of water on it, so it's easy to grab with the mouse.
Is that what it is it? Thanks.
You can also grab the corner, sometimes the corner is really.
Yeah, I've tried that. That's the only way I can do it. I'll do it on this one. It's really annoying for me. I can't, probably because I'm shaking so much. Oh, here we go.
You do keyboard shortcuts to maximise vertically if you want to.
Yeah,
That's a quick way to do it.
I'll look up keyboard shortcuts and write them down for a while until I memorise them. It's really annoying for me. I can't. This screen's much bigger than what I've got at home. I've got a $10 monitor at home, and you have to maximise everything. You know, you can't.
Can you pull down Windows size? Under Window, is there a size option you can specify? See Window?
In the menu.
Oh yeah,
No.
zoom height. There's a zoom height. Oh, it's there.
No, it's previous.
Doesn't even respond. Anyway, look, I'll run this. I'll run this, and I'll put the see, and that now you have to kill that straight away because I'll put it on minimum value and it's going to be too much data now. So we'll kill that straight away, and then we'll look at we'll get the actual file that it's just generated. And it's in this one. And it's sense log 11, should be this one, the 11th of the day. And this is Ubuntu's Linux version of Excel, and then this is just settings, and then and now this is something I was telling my hand on the way over to here. I don't think that the amount of digits after the decimal point are accurate. Maybe one
Jesus.
digit after the decimal point, depending on the category or the value, I mean. But as you can see, there's temperature, humidity, pressure, pitch, roll, yaw. I'm not sure what magnitude. I think that's the accelerometer. Magnitude X, magnitude Y, magnitude Z, acceleration, blah blah blah. Gyro is always X, Y, and Z. I think it's because gyro is actually a reference that these are a lot of the values that are related to. So there's not going to be actual values for that because there's nothing else to compare. There's no other reference frame for it apart from its own. So I think that's why X, Y, and Z are showing underneath gyro X, Y, and Z, and then obviously a timestamp with ridiculous. There's no way you're getting that kind of accuracy from one of these. I can look it up and work it out, but it's not going to be that many. I mean, there's one here: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 figures after the decimal point. No, you know. So, and that's just showing you that you can do Excel in Ubuntu Mate. It's free. You know, Word, Excel, it's equivalent of PowerPoint. And there's other ones that Windows doesn't have, as far as I know, anyway. And it's saves in the format of what Windows uses. If you want, you can make it save into another format. Has anybody got any questions on this so far, or no?
These are all sensors on the sensor, are they?
Yeah, there's barometric pressure, temperature, humidity, accelerometer, magnetometer, which can measure the deviation from magnetic north And I might be missing. Oh, there's a joystick on there with a 5-position joy. It's up, down, left, right, and I think you can push down on it as well. So if you want to make a game, yeah, you can definitely push down on it. And there might be some other ones that I'm not. Oh, you got your 8x8 matrix of RGBs. Very handy. You've got enough pixels, which are those 64 RGBs, to make a scrolling game or a typical arcade shooter. There are projects that demonstrate that. And to me, it's the most interesting hat that you can buy. It's really good, you know. I can sit on that for months and learn so many things just from this hat, you know. The code isn't something you can't. I always reverse engineer the code first to understand how it works, and then I try to write something more basic than that, and then later on, if I get confidence, I'll start programming in Python. But I've taken Python code from 2 or 3 sources and I've put it together successfully. I've done that at Raspberry Pi SIG. I made an alarm system that detects movement in a very large room. As soon as it detects movement, it takes a still shot and then 10 seconds of 640 by 480 video attached to an email that gets sent to your phone or your desktop or whatever. And that was just by, I didn't write the code from scratch, but I could actually take code from here and there, put it together and debug it. And once I debugged it, once that was sorted out, it was working fine. The only problem was you need to have some kind of UPS set up, because as soon as the power's been turned off for the home, you need a way to keep the system alive to send out the email. And then when I realised that, it was just sort of that was the end of that project. But if you had a UPS, you'd have a very good alarm system just with that. Anyway, so I'll close this, and we've got one more now, which is good for the kids, like me. I'll get rid of that one. And yeah, I could do it that way. I should do it that way, should I? If I just open Pixel Pair. Alright, so now it looks like that. And can't do it from here, can I?
No, it's an editor, so you have to close it.
I'll overlay, just open that. And run module. You can see that it's setting up the LEDs with those. There's 2. I'll explain how it works in a sec, but what the hell's happening there? This never happens to me at home.
The old program is still running though.
Is it? I didn't kill it. Do it again. No, I've got something else happening here. Wait a second. That's just looking at it. That's not going to be the reason.
What's supposed to happen?
It's supposed to show a static image until you shake it, and then it'll run for a few seconds. Uses the accelerometer inside it.
Do you have to shake it first? Or?
No, it's supposed to show. No, sorry, you're right. I forgot how it works. So that'll stay there. Oh, I can show you after. Mohan was right. You have to shake it first because it starts off with nothing. But that's obviously a bit hard to see, but that's a cat. It could be a dog. I prefer it to be a cat. I mean a dog. Sorry, I don't like cats. So you can understand. So that's definitely, well, you got the body of it. The face is pointing in this direction, and there's 2 ears, pink ears, and there's a pink tail, and 2 little green feet.
Shake it again, Bill.
And then shake it, and it'll run. I'll do it from up here. No, not enough. You gotta do it from here. What the hell is that? I'm not having much luck today, am I?
The presentation goes. If it was a dog, it would be running.
I'll restart it. I'll just restart it. It doesn't take long. You do it. I don't play with this one that much because
Just hit F5 on your keyboard, Bill. It'll run.
F5.
Unless you got a function key on
So
there.
you run Ubuntu, Mohan?
All right, here we go.
Not
Here we
really.
go. 1 second. Look.
Yeah.
You see how it's running on the feet on the bottom? It's just 2 images.
No, I get
I thought it was going to run off the screen.
That's the next project.
Tell it to be. It'll turn over and put its legs in the air.
But there's a lot of things that you can do with this. I found even more interesting ones to that. This one, just to finish up, right? You can tell straight away the biggest part of the program is just having setting up the LEDs in PET 1, and the only difference between PET 1 and PET 2 is the feet change. So instead of you got like your feet, you got your feet. This is one position, right? And the next position, which is PET 2, is your feet here. So all it does is it's just changing between 1 and 2, and it gives it the illusion that it's moving.
You can see it in the code.
Yeah.
1 and PET 2, the second last line,
Yeah,
the E and the G is moved.
it's
PET
moved.
1 and PET 2.
Correct.
That's right, man. Thanks for that. That's
So, Bill, we'll have to cut you off there.
yeah. No, that's
That's
it.
it.
I'll leave it like that. My presentations are just for. It's almost like product demonstration, but I wanted to show them that you don't need a Pi 3 to run Ubuntu Mate, and it's basically your second desktop if you don't have anything else. It's very useful if you're only going to be browsing and doing this stuff. And I play music and I exchange files from my desktop to this via Wi-Fi. And it prints. It'll print to your computer, very easy to set up. You can scan from this to your whatever your network printer is via Wi-Fi, and easy to set up. If I can do it, anyone can do it. You know, that's it. That's all right. Thanks, man.
3 cheers for Bill.
Yeah, thank you, man. No worries. My head's big enough already. I mean, literally, you know. It's so yeah, take over, mate. Go for it.
Can I just pinch the HDMI cable?
You can pinch it from mine.
No, take mine.
Oh, take his. Actually, take his.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
It's 5 metres, so it'll be plenty.
Mine's a bit more of a show and tell than anything else.
Come. Do you want to set up here?
I'll do.
Take that, man. Go for it. Get out of here.
Yes,
El Capitan.
How does the mouse get there? Hang on. There should. Sorry.
I don't think I've seen my presentation at the World Group last week.
Displays.
Oh yeah.
Is it extended desktop instead?
It's an extended desktop, and I have no idea on how to change it. Right. It's going to be slightly a bit more painful than what I thought, but we can just roll with it. So, pretty much, I am giving a presentation on this pretty cool website. What it is it's PyTutor. That's the URL, so pythontutor.com/visualize. And what this piece of software allows you to do is, like ordinary on your Raspberry Pi, when you program, you'll be in an environment similar to this. This is just the environment on my Mac. But when you run it, you can end up getting some kind of nasty compiler errors and and you might not be sure on what exactly has gone wrong. So this is just a simple piece of code that I've just written just to show you guys, that pretty much just takes in an array, adds all the elements up in the array, and returns a result. So if we run it, so in a normal thing, you'll just end up with an output kind of like, in this case, summing the numbers from 1 to 9 is 45, according to the code. So if there is an error, let me just make a quick little error up there, and I run it again, you will end up with a compiler error like this. And sometimes it's a bit hard to understand. This is a simple example. It's just an index error, but sometimes it's a little hard to understand. You might want to step through your code line by line. So that's where this program comes into handy, because you can just simply step through each line of code and see what happens. So the first line, you've run the piece of code. It generates a list. It then goes through the function. You can see, initializes the results to be 0 and then steps through the list. Item is the current element, and as you watch the results, each iteration through the list, the results will start summing. So it'll be 3, 6, 10, and so on, right? And you can actually see the results, and you'll see the output be printed here. So let's say if we have a mistake, so you just edit code, just go and edit code. Let's say we have a mistake, like so. We just press visualize execution, and if we run the piece of code, there's a little dragger here. If we drag it, you can continue to see it just iterating through, summing the results. But when the error occurs, you can actually see the line that you end up getting your error on, and what your error is, the index out of range. So it tells you that this is a bit too big, and you can kind of see that with the way it's summed. It's not meant to go through the next loop because your item is 0, and you can't get a new item because it's at the end of the list. So that's the cool part about this, is it's just like it just allows you to run and see your Python code on the move. But they've just added a new feature quite recently called live programming. So what you can do in the live programming mode is it constantly runs the piece of code. So here it's instantly summed it up without running. Let's say you want to return the results and the length of the code, or the length of the list. So the length command's used, and then there it gives you the error saying that length doesn't take an object. So it's compiling it or running the code live. And then you can see I've just added length of lists, and it's instantly outputted. So it's just live updating and running your code as you type, so you can see the output.
This is free?
Yeah,
It's a website.
it's just a website.
Yeah, I've seen the Visual Basic Studio, or Visual Studio has a collaboration site that does exactly this, that can test your program live
Yeah.
through multiple platforms, but you pay a big dollar for it.
Yeah, so this is just a free piece of software that I use just to see what's happening. So at uni we cover like sorting algorithms where we have to sort a list. And if I make a mistake in the code, sometimes the code's 100 lines long. If I see that the list is, or I get an incorrect swap in the sort, or the list is sorted incorrectly, I can actually see see it live in this program, that what's happening. So yeah, I just thought it was a pretty cool, helpful tool to use when you're coding Python.
That's great. That's just what I need.
Yes, you can change the Python on the drop-down menu. It's got, in this Python 2.2 and JavaScript, but in this, so this is the live programming environment. So this is, if you make a change, it will automatically show you that your results have changed.
It's very powerful.
Like that. But back in here, back in this, this one here, you have, go back into edit code. You have the options of all these programming languages to use, run, compile. So it's not just for Python. You can use it for C, C++, JavaScript, Ruby, whatever you feel like. It's
Arduino code?
no, no, just the options there. But
It's C++.
it's a pretty broad range, and it's free software that's just powerful to use. So
That's awesome.
yeah, and that's pretty much all I have to say about this. It's just pretty much a show and tell, just showing you guys this cool piece of software that I found to run
That's
Python code.
awesome, man.
The website again?
Yeah, pythontutor.com/visualize.
Yeah.
If you Google Python, Python Tutor Visualize,
Yeah.
this is the first site that comes up as well.
Is that visualised with a Z?
Yes,
They're American.
it is.
It's defective.
I'm being lazy by asking, but how does it work? Is it run entirely JavaScript client side, or is it querying the server running?
I have honestly no idea. I just type in and it just spits out my answers. It does the job. I don't really know. I pushed it to its limit. It struggled. I had probably, because I had multiple files open, and I probably had 800 lines of code in here, and then it decided to give up. It didn't spit out, but for that being a limit, it's pretty good.
That's right.
Cool.
So yeah, that's that.
That's just what I've needed.
Thanks, Trent.
Yeah. I'll just save that 1 second.
It's also handy to write Python on the move as well. I sometimes write Python on my phone, and I can
Python on your phone.
yeah.
Sheesh.
And it works if I'm on the train, the bus, or have
Thanks,
my
man.
laptop
I'll
on me.
just put it to one side, yeah.
Dark place. Stay focused.
So, are there any questions? Questions now, or forever hold your peace? Any questions? Questions? No? Going once? Alrighty. What's been the latest goss in the last month or so regarding Raspberry Pi? Has there been any developments or things of note? Yes?
Zero support to camera now.
It certainly does. Now, version numbers, is it 1.3 or is it version 2?
No, it's less than 2. I can't remember the numbers. I think it is 1.3.
Is it 1.3?
I still struggle with that with zero having that Wi-Fi though, so I still think it's kind of useless.
Although we've figured out a way.
Why can't they show
Yeah.
the videos putting on it? I know, that's good.
No, that doesn't. But it's got USB, so yes, you can start to put stuff.
There's there's a virtual Ethernet adapter on it.
No,
Yeah.
he's right. I mean, why'd they do that?
You'd be better off to use it for a MicroPython
Because it's free.
controller or something like that.
Because it's
It's
cheap.
not internet connected.
It goes in the ESP.
Yes?
Fit in a real quick show and tell it.
Please, come on.
And it's
Come on.
Rob, why don't you make a suggestion to him?
Oh, what do you got there?
Really heavy case for a Raspberry Pi.
I know.
Do you need the...
I won't fire it up. But I made this for my son. He's 12 now. I want him to have some Raspberry Pi to take around with him and run it wherever he wanted. So I didn't want something that was just off the shelf.
Good God.
So the LCD screen's got a HDMI driver. It's just off a Gil Extreme or something like that. All the bits of yellow bezel and things, that's all 3D printed.
Nice.
And
Can you explain this thing to me?
sure, that's just the driver board for the HDMI to drive the screen.
Yep.
So the HDMI input, power input.
Yep.
And it'll take several other inputs, VGA,
So where did you acquire that? 'Cause I'm interested in
Deal Extreme. You can either buy just the driver boards, but you tend to want to have them paired with an LCD already because there are multiple incompatibilities, if you like. But they'll look them up if you know the numbers. Well, if you know the numbers of the LCD screen, they'll look them up and say whether it's compatible or not. So I bought them as a pair. It might have been $70 or something, approximately.
Yep.
Yeah. And a speaker as well. Went and bought a pair of USB speakers that had a volume control and a power button, and
So what's driving?
just tore it apart. It's just a Raspberry Pi. I mean, it's just standard HDMI, so there's nothing clever about it at all. It was just the custom build that was interesting, really, and 3D printing up the parts and perhaps making a button panel for the screen. Sorry?
I like the eyes.
No, it'll be fired
What
up.
about halogen lights? The lighting should be.
I will plug it in. Keep some
Yeah,
power
just
off here.
pinch that.
Just so you can see the nice glowy effect when it's running.
This is cool.
The backlight, because there's no backing on the back of the LCD at all, it sort of lights up all around the back of it, so it's got a nice glowy effect when you run it at night.
Is the display sitting on top of the acrylic?
No, it's not. So I've cut a hole in it.
How?
With a reciprocating saw and put it on the bench. Cut a hole in it. But I mean, by the time you've cut it, of course, it's all a bit jiggly and whatever. That's why I printed the bezel for it. The bezel's printed in 4 parts, 4 90-degree pieces.
How big's the screen?
10 inch.
It is a big screen, isn't it?
Yeah, it's interesting though, because if you sit here and you've got your keyboard out, oops, sorry.
Yep.
The text is probably a little bit small, to be honest. I mean, it's a standard screen, something like 1024 by 600 or something like that.
Yeah.
Not incredibly high res, so after you've made it, you realise perhaps it's a little bit never read. But it runs.
How many units has ASIO ordered of this one?
Actually, the ruggedised version of the Raspberry Pi. Yeah, it's not particularly rugged. It does weigh a ton. But,
What's the purpose? Why did you do this? I know for your son, but for what purpose?
It's cool.
because I could.
That's right.
I mean, because it's portable, there's more to be done. It's not complete. So part of the idea was to run a power supply that drops down the, say, 12 volt. You run the screen off, so you can run a 5 volt off that. You only need one power supply then. A bit more sort of acrylic in here to slot the keyboard. Have a breadboard in there, maybe some Arduino part boxes and things like that, so you can build stuff. Yeah,
It's cool.
For your son to take away somewhere and play with it, or
sure. Take it to school, do show and tell.
I love the idea about putting the breadboard in the bottom of it, right? You
Yeah,
put
man.
parts in there and have
Yeah.
the tinker in the middle,
Right,
Yeah.
and it's all contained.
right.
Because you can just shut the bloody lid and all the junk goes.
brings up all the workspace.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So a portable maker box, if you like.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I had part of it also comes from what have you already got. I've got the 3D printer. You go, what can I make with it?
Something very interesting. I'm not sure how busy you are, but it's worth having a look at.
It weighs a ton. That's it. Yep. All right. Well, that's it. It works.
So what was the HDMI interface part there?
Sure.
What was that doing?
Well, you need to drive the screen. The screens themselves don't natively talk HDMI.
They talk LVDS. That's why.
Most likely. There are several variants of that, I must admit. So you need
What
to
do
get.
you call it? Sorry?
LVDS. I know because I've been investigating this. Because I want we've got some old laptops downstairs, and we want to use them and insert a Raspberry Pi inside. And so I've been investigating that board.
I just went to Electronics just then on the way here.
Yes,
And in the car I bought the new 7-inch one.
yes, yes. So it's very interesting.
I mean,
You've got a
$120 now.
so it's the one that runs off the ribbon cable, the little
Yeah, the
connector
ribbon
that's on
cable,
on the board itself.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah. Right. This is just standard HDMI. It worked.
Bill,
They didn't have the Raspberry
That's
Pi
the board I
screens at
want to buy for.
Well, obviously, the only guaranteed way of success is to do it like that.
Yeah.
Because those machines are very old, but if the display
And you can even tell which inverter you're using, and you can specify it, and they'll give the right.
You can actually, those screens have come down in price now over the last, I can say 6 months to a year. The HDMI screen, the Raspberry Pi,
Yeah,
it's a pretty good price now. Although I just bought a 5-inch one,
Yep.
Banggood, for $40.
Really?
Touchscreen.
Yeah.
Is it an HDMI one or?
Yes, a HDMI one. I've actually got it sitting next door.
Yes.
And as far as the resolution, because I wanted a small 5-inch one, I've got no problem
Thanks
with
for
the
that,
screen
mate.
itself.
That's
but
great.
the touch screen is
Just like squeeze it in last second.
Mate, you must have a very good 3D printer because you can see from the parts that it's is it an expensive one or?
one of those that uses
No, not really. I mean, it's AliExpress one. It's not dissimilar to the one you have
Yep.
downstairs.
Okay.
See that cord?
Yeah, I find the microphone.
HDMI on one side
That's good.
and the ribbon cable on the other.
For LCD screen.
For anything, even for your HP thing. So they're all the same.
That's the only way, John, because we put in. Looks like that's the only way because if the screens work on more than one of them, we can buy them in a batch.
Yes, so you can. I mean, you can butcher the screens out of anything. Get an old monitor. And pull
We've got all my designs.
The only problem is you're speaking inverter. Yeah, the Cold Cafe ones are all quite high power. This is LED backed.
It's LED backed, aren't they? I
Low
understand.
power.
Correct.
So
You can buy those as individual boards. Just buy them off Deal Extreme or Banggood or someone like
for
that.
how much? Any idea?
By itself, like 20, 30 bucks.
So what did you use this one for?
That's just a Raspberry Pi, portable Raspberry Pi box. So
Right.
It's got screen and speakers.
Yep.
And
We were trying to put that into a
Old laptop.
into the laptop.
I'm sure you can. I know how it's
Just-
a
yeah,
bit
yeah.
chunky, but this is designed to carry a few other things.
Yes, yes, yes,
That's the goal.
yes.
So that's why we're interested in that little board.
Yes. Any more detail on that little board? Am I interrupting your?
Yes, you are.
Have you back turned
Never ask a question to which you don't know the answer.
Microcontroller people.
Yes, Mr. Macy. Excellent.
So it's 3D printed. All the bezels are all 3D printed, and the buttons are printed. Stand-ups are printed.
Yeah.
My hand.
Beauty.
Yes.
I reckon it's
Thank you, Mohan.
$50.
Yeah,
I think
it is.
it's much less.
I've seen it on eBay. It can range from about 30 to 60.
Eddie,
Yeah.
can we get one? Just to, to test.
The answer is yeah.
We'll leave it to your
John,
seat.
I'll go down and see John.
Yeah.
downstairs.
Alrighty. So I guess that's it for today. Unless anyone wants to, we can do the little Python session after a little tea break if you're happy.
Well done, man. That's exactly what I need. That's what, that's going to change my life now, man. I've always wanted to get, that,
See, the one I was thinking of is this one. I'll show you.
yeah. $52 on eBay. Oh, sorry, on Nomad 4D. But if you buy it elsewhere in Australia, you're looking at well over $76. And Element 14 will bring it to you in less than 48 hours. Yeah, and they're the cheapest. Before I buy something, I always check, in Australia.
See, Bill, it's about $50. That one on eBay is about 50, and it'll convert. It'll actually do it from DVI to. It actually does DVI to.
Which is handy.
Are we finished?
Yes, we are. We are. Yeah. I was going to do a presentation actually, but we've run out of time today. So
Oh shit, sorry, man.
no, it's all right.
We can, yeah. No, Henry. Yeah.
If anybody wants to see that 5-inch HDMI
Yeah,
screen, I've got it next door. Not that I was planning.
We're going anyway, so we're going to do a little Python thing.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, we're moving somewhere?
After the break. We're going to the break now.
Oh, okay.
How long, Martin?